First, a fitting assignment for new dad, Will Kirk.
Have you got one of these?
I've got something similar that goes on the side of the bed, but then I've also been told to put up the big crib, but the baby can't go in there for 6 months. I spent all of last weekend putting that together.
It can't go in
It's
there
not
for
being used for 6 months.
You should have spoke to me. I would have told you.
This crib belongs to Nikki from Bristol, and she's hoping Will can restore it for a very special occupant.
Hello.
Hello.
You must be Nikki.
I am indeed, yes.
And this?
It's yours. I mean, not that you actually currently sleep in it.
I don't sleep in it at the
belongs
moment.
to you.
It does belong to me.
Oh,
I
wow.
slept in it and my two older brothers slept in it.
So this is the family crib then?
It is a family crib, yes. Bought from London in 1976, chosen by my parents and bought by my grandparents, and then kept all these years for me.
And why do you want this to be repaired? Is there new family members coming along?
Because I have a baby, and I would like her to sleep in my crib.
And what's her name?
It's Lilian.
You haven't got a crib for her? Or you must have
No,
something?
I've borrowed a Moses basket from a friend, but she's 8 weeks and she is vastly growing out of it.
So you need this
I do.
very soon?
Yeah.
Right.
I think it's really nice that you've kept it for so long.
When my grandfather passed away, I found it, but I wasn't even thinking about having a baby at the time.
So you and your partner, and this was sort of
I
there.
actually don't have a partner.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Cool.
I am what is known as a solo mum. So basically, I really wanted a baby, so I ended up using a donor. I had IVF, and I now have my little Lilian.
Oh, that's really
Which was
news.
insane. Twice the work, but...
So would having this restore be the cherry on the top of the cake?
Absolutely. It would just be incredible to know that I was in there at one point, and now she is.
So what would you like Will to do to it?
Make it safe, please. I'd also quite like it more modern. My mum always wanted white, but they didn't sell it in white. She loved the crib so much, she decided to sacrifice the colour for the crib.
For the crib.
But I'd quite like it to go with the nursery now.
Which is...
White with elephants.
Oh, that's really sweet.
We know what we've got to do.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, I love this.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming down.
Thank you very much.
You take care
Nice
now.
to meet you.
See you soon.
Likewise. Bye-bye.
Oh.
You OK?
Yeah, just feeling broody again.
Well, you want another baby? You need to relax.
Can you get that?
Of course I can.
Nice one, mate. This is a pretty cool crib, actually. The way that it works is you've got these two bits of metal on either side here with hoops on. They then sit on these hooks here on this base frame, and that allows it to sort of swing quite freely. Thankfully, none of the wood has broken. Nikki would quite like this to be freshened up and brought into the current century, so it'd be really nice to have this painted white. In order to do that, I need to remove a lot of this old varnish that's on the surface, because if I paint on top of that varnish, it's not really going to bond well with the wood and it could end up flaking off. I think I might also replace this hardboard on the bottom here. Baby Lilian is growing incredibly fast. I've got a 3-month-old myself, so I know how quickly they do grow, so I better get my skates on. My first job is to dismantle this. That's going to make it a lot easier for me to sand and paint.
From baby's bedtime to children's playtime. Daniel Smith from the Isle of Wight is hoping metal man Dominic Chinea can restore some memories of his youth.
Hi.
Hello.
You OK?
Yes, good, thank you. You?
Good. You look a bit big for that.
I am a little bit big for that, I think, nowadays, but...
Let's have a look. Let's pop it up on the table. I used to have a pogo stick when I was a kid. I used to love it. Holding on to that, hopping around.
Yeah, great fun.
Brilliant.
Great fun.
But it looks like it's been a few years since this has been working. So where did you get it from?
Basically, growing up as a kid, my first memories is Mum telling about her time when she was growing up and down streets in Manchester playing on a pogo stick.
What she used to?
She used to,
On
yeah.
this?
Not on this one, no, on another one. But she's one of my first memories of her was telling about her time with her sister on a pogo stick. So went to school one day, it was a jumble sale. Me and my brother, I still remember waving Mum off now. Got to the jumble sale, and lo and behold, found a pogo stick. So I thought I'd buy it for Mum take it home.
How old were you?
I was 9. I was 9 years old at the time.
That's a very nice thing to do.
Yeah.
For a 9-year-old kid.
Yeah, it's her memories and joy it used to give her, so I thought, yeah, take a pogo stick and let her have a play.
Did she enjoy it? Did she like it?
Well, obviously got home from the jumble sale that day.
Yeah.
There's nobody in. Like Mum would normally have been there. But as it turns out, she had been around a friend's house. Unfortunately collapsed.
Your mum?
Collapsed on that day. Well, she rushed to hospital, turns out she had a brain hemorrhage.
Oh, my goodness.
And she died 3 days later, so... never obviously got to see a gift.
How old was your mum?
How old? 33.
When we
lost
lost
her? Yeah.
33.
Yeah, so it's quite, yeah.
There's no age at all, is it? That's...
No, not at all.
Being a 9-year-old kid, going through that must have been a tough time.
It was tough, yeah, it was tough. But Dad got us through it, so strong, and it was just normal. It's just our life, how it was, you know. I've got, you know, got happy memories of being a child, but just that one instant, there's a shadow over it. But that's down to credit to Dad for getting us through, you know. He had it tougher than we had it, and he didn't ever show that. He was, yeah.
Putting on a brave face for you two, for you and your brother.
Without doubt, yeah. I mean, that's what Dad used to say to us, you know, when we were kids with the Three Musketeers, we'll get through everything, you know.
Bless you.
So obviously it evokes memories. Back in 2019, lost Dad as well, unfortunately. So the job came to clearing his house out. So again, every room we got to, first thought was wonder what happened to the pogo stick.
Is that in the back of your mind the whole time?
Back of my mind, every room we got to. Initially I thought maybe it's gone, maybe got rid of it. But down the bottom of the garden, old decrepit shed with lots of stuff, and the very last thing in the very last corner was that.
Wow. What was going through your head at that moment?
Yeah, a bit emotional, to be honest. It's sort of memories of mum when she was a girl growing up, and then obviously it evokes the bad memories as well, but it's sort of just to have it there.
I can completely see why this is a lot more than just a pogo stick, isn't it, to you?
Oh, it really is, yeah, of course, yeah.
So I'm slightly nervous to actually even ask you, but
yeah.
What are you hoping I can do to it?
Just have it to look in how it looked at least, so it could be, yeah, just passed down after that.
You set me a challenge here.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to getting stuck in. Thank you.
Lovely, thank you. Cheers.
See you later.
Bye-bye.
This pogo stick, honestly, is one of the rustiest things I think I've seen in a very long time. I can barely even tell the different components, one to the other. They all just merged together in this big, rusty kind of mess, unfortunately. But all is not lost. I am confident that underneath all of this rust and dirt and mess, that beautiful pogo stick that Dan bought for his mum all those years ago, and I am determined to find it. I can see already this pogo stick would have been yellow on this upright, on this main handle. There's little fragments of the yellow paint left under there. And there's tiny little bits inside the little rivet heads that are bright red. This is what I love about saving these old things. It looks like a complete wreck, but the clues are all there. You just need to be very careful and have a look for them. I'm not even going to start trying to take this apart. I'm leaving my spanners in the toolbox. I'm not going near any of that. The first thing I'm going to do is dunk this in this tank that I've got and use electrolysis as a process to remove the rust very delicately from the pogo stick. The electrolysis process is basically the electrical current passing from the pogo stick that's submerged in the water, that's our negative, and all of these anodes around the edge, these pieces of metal are all connected to the positive. It takes with it all the rust from the pogo stick. It's all to do with that travel and the movement of the electrical current from anode to cathode.
There are no baby blues for Will on his restoration of the wooden crib.
Well, so far, everything is going according to plan with the crib. I've managed to get it flat pack, which makes it a lot easier for me to strip it. Now, I could have sanded it, but that would take quite a long time to go around each piece, and it's very dusty. So instead, I'm using some paint and varnish stripper. And it's coming off really easily, actually. It seems that the brown stain is actually in the varnish itself and not inside the wood. So when the varnish comes off, it takes it back to this really lovely bit of beach again. Well, already, huge transformation. Now, stripping just the flat panels takes a long time, but these spindles, it's going to take an absolute age. So I better carry on. Well, I've finished stripping back all the parts of the crib. I'm now about to prime this. This is going to help that top coat of paint stick onto the surface, and it's also going to be a really nice base colour for that last coat as well. With this sponge, it's going to allow me to have a nice sort of even application. Sometimes with brushes you can get brush marks and things like that, but this is the perfect tool for the job. When this is dry and that top final paint goes on there, it's going to be absolutely beautiful and it's going to sit perfectly in the nursery. Well, I've had a better look at this baseboard for the crib, and not only is it quite warped, but also it's got damage to the surface here. It looks slightly mouldy, and this crib needs to be incredibly clean because baby Lilian is going to be inside of it. So I've decided to use the original board as a template to cut a new piece of hardboard. Well, there's the new base for the crib. It looks pretty good to me. Now I can get on with the reassembly.
The barn may be a hive of activity, but there's always room for a new visitor. Jane Ritchie has travelled from South Ayrshire, hoping bookbinder Chris Shaw can rescue a memento of a fascinating family history.
Hello.
Hello, how are you?
You must be Jane.
I am,
I'm
yes.
Jane.
Yeah. Hi, Jane.
And I'm Chris.
Hi, Chris.
So what we got wrapped up?
Well, it's a very, very old recipe book called Dainty Dishes for an Indian Table that belonged to my grandmother. Very precious, but very falling to bits.
Wow. What kind of recipes are in here?
Roast hare, a lot of vegetables, mutton and mango curry, I think.
Ooh, that sounds
but
nice.
some appetising, some less appetising.
Right. So your grandmother, is she still with us?
No, sadly, she's not. My grandmother was born in Burma.
Right.
And my grandfather that she married in Burma was from Glasgow.
So your grandmother's name? What was
It was Nesta.
Nesta. And grandfather?
He was David. And she met him as a soldier in the British Army. And they married and they lived in Burma until 1941 when the Japanese invaded. Right. And my grandfather stayed in Burma with the army, and my grandmother and my father had to leave. And they moved to India, where they stayed until 1947, until independence, when they had to leave.
And then where did they go after the independence?
They travelled on a ship called the Ormond, which I think docked in Hull, and then eventually moved to London. And this book travelled back with her.
Wow. So did you ever meet your grandmother?
Yes, yes, yeah.
What was she like?
I knew her well. A very quiet, demure lady.
Yeah.
Very different from my grandfather, who was a typical Glaswegian, much more outgoing in
And
North West
did they
London.
talk about their experience?
They didn't talk much about their life, no, which made me so sad. I knew very little about my heritage. I think as a mixed-race couple, They just didn't talk about it. A difficult period coming back to London in 1947, a cold place where she'd never lived anywhere but a hot country, and having to run a house. You know, I think they undoubtedly did have some servants in India, but a woman in her 30s coming back and suddenly having to do all these things that she'd never done all her life.
Culture shock.
A real culture shock.
So do you remember the book?
My grandmother gave me this book about 40 years ago, and it used to sit in their kitchen on the old dresser, and I was fascinated by this book, and I used to pull it out and look at it. And one day she just said to me, "Would you like it?" And she gave it to me.
How did you feel when you got the book?
It was just special, because it was part of my heritage, part of the story of my life, I suppose, that I was always so desperate to explore.
And was it like this when you got it?
Yes, it was. It's always been like it, yeah. It's just so fragile. All the pages are loose and the spine's broken.
I could just see when you opened it, it's fallen apart.
Which is why I've just never wanted to really cook from it.
You haven't used the recipe out of it?
I haven't yet, no, but I'm desperate to use it, yeah.
OK.
Yeah. You know, it's such a special thing. It's so old, it's got so much history. And one particular recipe in there that is very, very precious to me, and it's an egg curry recipe, and it was my grandmother's favourite. When this book is hopefully restored and it can be safely used, I would love to make the egg curry recipe in here, just to take me back to my grandmother.
What do you reckon, Chris?
Well, I do like a recipe book. I can't believe the journey that's gone on. But I'm looking forward to the egg curry. I'm going to check that one out. What about you, Jay? Do you like egg curry?
I love a curry, mate. I've never had an egg curry, but I do like a curry.
Yeah, give it a go.
Well, listen, thank you for bringing us in.
Oh, you're very welcome.
Yeah.
Thank you for looking at it.
You take care now.
And you. Thank you very much.
Jay.
Thank you.
All that history in a book.
You'll be able to fix it?
I certainly will. It's very special. Really looking forward to this.
Good. Well, listen, don't get lost in the recipes. Remember, fix it first, then recipes, yeah?
OK, that's a deal. Well, what a very well-travelled book, and I'm looking forward to getting to know it. And I do find it absolutely fascinating, just straight away, the bookmark. Such a disposable ephemera, and it's there. I love all of that sort of thing. Jane was quite right to bring it in, because it is at the point where it could sort of just completely disintegrate. Split corners, but the biggest problem I've got is this. There's quite a major tear there, a big problem for me, really structural. So I'm going to put new cloth in on the back of the book, but under the original, what I call an invisible reback. And that's my main challenge, is to do a reback without damaging any of what you can see there. The first thing I'm going to do is dismantle the book, and it's been held in by one last cord, but I'm just going to snip it out and then I can start dismantling it. It really was just hanging on by a thread. It seems to be coming away really well, and I'm really pleased with that. And I just need to carry on till it's all dismantled.
In his quest to de-rust the vintage pogo stick, Dom is salvaging the pieces from the watery depths of the electrolysis tank.
As you can see up here, all of this now is bare metal, this whole shaft. These little red spots in all the rivets, they are apparently rivets, which is great. I can actually tell that now. And look at this. You can see this little area down here. That looks like an original transfer. I'm going to do some more homework, try and find a reference to what that should look like. I would love to be able to put the original transfer back on this pogo stick once it's restored. Being perfectly honest, when I first put this pogo stick in the electrolysis tank, I was expecting the worst, and I thought I would be pretty much rebuilding an entire pogo stick. But taking it out now and having a good look at what's left, I have quite high hopes. I really need to just spend some time now and take this apart and make two piles. Things to remake and things I can keep. Now the pogo stick is completely taken apart. I've got it all separated into 2 piles. Good bits that I can actually reuse, which I've chuffed the bits with, and I've sandblasted all those bits. And another pile of not so good bits that I'm going to have to replace. This is literally the handle to the pogo stick. The blasting process has revealed a few holes where the rust has just completely corroded all the way through, but I'm going to do my best to weld all these holes back up. It looks manageable at the moment. The problem is the surrounding area is inevitably very thin as well, as the rust has sort of eaten away at the area. As soon as I go near that with my welding torch, the extreme heat that creates will get rid of any areas that are slightly questionable, and I'm going to be introducing a filler rod. This is essentially more steel that I'll be adding to the molten puddle. So I'll basically be melting this area and then building that back up. That will completely get rid of it. Yes. Brilliant. I'm really chuffed with that. I need to let that cool down before I grind that down. I'm just slightly proud of the surface now, but once I grind that down nice and smooth, level with the rest of the tube, you will never know there was a hole there. Dan's pogo stick is coming on really well. I am having to replace some pieces though. The rust was just too far gone. This part in particular, this tube supports the main spring and connects the handle to the actual base. So this is a really important part. This original tube has got a slot 2 inches down that the handle actually fits in. So then when this clamp is bolted tight, that slot allows the tube to actually sort of reduce in diameter ever so slightly and clamp on and hold the actual handle in place. I just need to replicate that slot in this piece of tube. If everything has worked out as I'd planned, the original handle should, see, by having this slot now, there's a little bit of movement there. So I can actually put that in, that's perfect. Brilliant. Everything is the right length, the holes are in the right place, it's all gonna work. I can sand it down and then jump onto the painting.
There's been painting aplenty over on Will's bench too.
Well, all the paint has now dried and it's finally time to reassemble this. I've had to change a couple of these bolts. 1 or 2 of them had actually bent. I'm not too sure how the damage occurred, but it is really important to make sure that this is incredibly strong and sturdy. And that is why I'm starting on the base. This has actually been quite a straightforward fix, but it just shows how sanding something back and painting a different colour can make a massive transformation. And it's going to be really nice when Nikki puts Lilian inside the crib, and then that nursery would then now be complete.
This crib had been tucked away safely, lying in wait for the next generation, but needed a facelift and readiness for its newest occupant.
Wow. That looks cool, man.
All done.
Nice. And it rocks.
And it rocks.
Perfect. Look what I got.
Oh, Jay.
Remember? Elephants?
The elephants, yes.
The cradle used to rock Nikki and her brother to sleep over 40 years ago, and now it's the turn of Nikki's own daughter, Lilian.
There she is.
Hello.
Hello.
And
Here
who's
she
this?
is. This is Lilian.
Hello, Lilian.
Hello. Look at those blue eyes.
Well, you get a
There you
smile.
go.
Did you see that? Are you excited?
I mean, I'm very excited. I'm very, very excited.
You ready to see it?
Absolutely. Can't wait.
Do the honours.
Oh my God. Oh wow. I'm speechless. Oh my gosh. I slept in that and now you're going to sleep in it. Should we put you in?
Yes.
Come on then.
Oh, look at that. Perfect.
And you fit.
Oh, that is perfect.
And you're smiling. Yeah, it goes with your nursery, doesn't it?
How does it feel seeing Lilian in there now, and then you and your brother have been in this as well?
Bizarre. Like, I was that small. They were that small.
Yeah.
40 years ago, I was in that crib. Oh, my mum's going to be over the moon. Absolutely over the moon.
So, Nikki, you've got your hands full.
I
Is it
do.
all right to give you a hand with this out to the car?
Yes, please. Oh, honestly, thank you so much.
Absolute pleasure.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Thank you.
Well, if you two lead the way, we'll
Okay,
follow you.
thank you. Let's go. I am feeling so incredible now that I've seen it. It's beautiful. To see Lily rocking in a crib that I rocked in was my world complete. Yeah, overwhelmed, completely overwhelmed. It's amazing.
It's your lucky day. I've got some treats. Homemade ginger cake.
Oh, Chris, that's so lovely. Thank you very much.
It's all right.
Ooh, you got some snacks.
Right time, right place.
Oh, thank you.
Well, Steve, it's cake time.
Oh, what have you got?
Homemade ginger cake.
Oh, do you know what? Ginger's my favourite.
Oh, result. It's mine.
I think that's the biggest bit. Thank you so much.
That's all right. You're working so hard.
Trying to. Oh, that's really nice.
With the components of the pogo stick painted and ready to rebuild, fellow metal expert Brenton West has sprung into action to lend Dom a hand.
Right, this is Dan's pogo stick, believe it or not.
Okay.
Yeah, and it all needs riveting together, but I just almost need 6 pairs of hands.
Yeah, of course. So I've just got to hold that in play.
This is the trouble with rivets, you've kind of got one chance.
Yep.
Ready?
Yep.
Got it? Here we go. There's no going back now.
No.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Wow, it's like factory finish. Look at that.
It's on there?
It's on there.
Brilliant.
Wow. So how many more? We've got to do all of these?
Well, one down, 25 to go, I think.
Crikey.
The whole thing is riveted like that.
okay.
So
Well, let's get on then.
let's get the other one in. Yeah, that's good there.
Yeah, okay. Do it.
As he carefully disassembles the antique cookbook, Chris has been working up quite an appetite, browsing the recipes.
There was one puzzling one. There was a savoury custard, which I thought would be gravy. But that's a debate that I can have with myself later. All the corners obviously have had some sort of donk along the way, and on 3 of the corners there's cloth missing, and I'm going to have to replace the cloth. And on 1 of the corners, the board's a bit soft. And to overcome that, I'm going to inject it with some PVA. It's always quite exciting because I feel like I'm a bit like a doctor. Dr. Shaw. Dr. Bookbinder, even. I've got this beautiful hypodermic syringe from the 1950s, but I just love the fact that it's glass. And that, oh, you can see it oozing out. And it just leaves that tiny little hole where the needle is. So it's quite a non-invasive approach to repairing the corners. It's like sort of Botox. It's going to take all the sort of flubbiness away and just leave it nice and taut. And then I'm just going to clamp it. It's just going to dry now and solidify the board underneath the original cloth. And that's it. I can start working on the other corners. It's just a bit more of a fiddle. Because the damage is more extensive, you can see all the sort of layers of the board. And I'm just going to put some PVA in. Give it a good wash all over. I can then wrap a new piece of cloth around. Once the cloth's dry, then I'm going to re-stick the original cloth back on top, and hopefully you won't be able to tell it's there, but I can get on with the other two corners. So I've fixed the corners. I'm really happy with that. Now the fun part of sewing it all together, which is a really pleasant job. I'm just going to replicate what the original was. This was originally sewn on cords, so this is totally traditional bookbinding. These are the cords. I'm using hemp, used for rope making, so exceptionally strong. I'm sewing each folded section around these cords. So all the pages then are sort of linked together, and then these cords are then going to be attached to the book. And you can see there's a faint dent of where there was cords. They're just splayed out and then stuck down. So it's a real important structural part of the binding, this. You can see the cords getting pulled into the pages. There's no quick way about what I'm doing now. It has to be done by hand. You have to get the right tension. Too tight is not a good plan. Too lax, it doesn't work, and it just takes time. And it is very, very satisfying. I can sit here for hours and hours sewing. You can listen to Jay talking, anyone talking in the barn, but at the same time concentrate. It's a very, very nice place to be.
How we doing, Chris?
Fine, thanks, Jay.
I'll tell you what I'm looking for is ginger cake.
I did bring some in.
What, and it's all gone?
Are you too late? Absolutely delicious.
You've got to be quick around here.
Seriously? Chris, when you bring it in next time, just cut a little piece for me, please. Especially when these two are in.
There is quite a substantial rip in the spine, which is structurally making it really unstable. So what I need to do is what bookbinders call a cloth reback, and that's introducing a new bit of cloth, but I'm going to do that invisibly. I'm going to lift it very carefully back and then introduce the cloth behind that. And it'll also transform the feel of it. A book needs to feel solid and something that Jane can then flick through to her heart's content, to the egg curry, obviously. This book cloth, I've coloured it so it matches the original. Now it glues on, and I'm just tucking it into position. It's a bit of a fiddle. That seems to be in place. And then I can turn in the top and bottom. Very satisfying seeing it all come together.
With the pogo stick almost back to its bouncy best, there's one final touch that'll take the restoration stratospheric.
The pogo stick has come on so far. I am chuffed to bits. Spent some time touching up the paint, putting the grips and all the rubber feet pad on. It's almost ready. The last thing it needs is this little transfer. And I'm going to put it back where it belongs, proudly on the front of the pogo stick. That is just what it needed. Ready to give back to Dan.
This toy was little more than a rusty stake when Dom got his hands on it. But for Daniel, it was a reminder of his much-loved mother, who he lost at a young age.
Dan, hi, how are you doing?
Good, thank you. Yeah?
Lovely to see you again.
You too.
This pogo stick is probably one of the rustiest things I've worked on.
Yeah, I'm surprised it was taken on, to be honest, but
Yeah.
it was that bad. It really was, yeah.
I know it was a few years ago, but do you remember what it looked like when you bought it?
Yeah.
Do you?
Yeah. Yeah, red and yellow. Well, it wasn't in the best condition back then anyway, but it was a second-hand one. It was from a jumble sale, but
Yeah.
it was, yeah. Yeah, I'll still picture it.
Slightly more colourful than...
I don't know what it was, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, look at that. Look at that. That's better than I remember it. It really is. It works as well.
Of course.
Yeah. It's incredible. It's such a silly toy, there's so much emotion behind it, but it's, yeah, it's fantastic. Thank you. I don't know what to say, just thank you. Got a new spring, obviously.
No.
No, same spring?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
A lot of it is the original pieces. We cleaned it up. Yeah.
It's absolutely amazing. It's just a connection back to them memories of Mum. And just the lost years between me and my brother and her, you know?
Yeah. It's a special thing.
Yeah, especially when I brought it home that day. It's obviously been the intention of me and my brother playing with it, Mum having a go, and it's just that sort of lost childhood years, I suppose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hope you can look at the pogo stick now and think of
the
happy
good memories. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and it certainly does that. And the fact it's working, especially with the same spring, it's unbelievable. Thank you so much.
You're so welcome. It's been a joy. I've really enjoyed it.
Really?
Yeah, it's put a smile on my face for sure.
Brilliant.
So, yeah.
I hope so.
Brilliant. Thank you so much.
No, thank you.
Nice to see you, Dan.
You too.
All right then. See you later.
Cheers. Bye-bye. Unbelievable. I can't explain. Such a silly little item can evoke so much emotion and memory. Yeah, it means the world. It really does. Strange item to keep, but it's just where it's that last thing that I bought, my sort of last thought to do something for her before she passed on. So it's an important object to keep hold of. And you just pass down the family from then on as a memory of Mum.
The restored Indian cookbook is looking delicious.
Well, the book now is all finished. I'm really happy with it. Can barely see what I've done, which is a pat on the back for me, but I just want to give it a sort of slight lift. A bit of makeup doesn't hurt anyone. Just take some of the blemishes away, nothing too much. I'm not trying to make it spick and span. I want it looking its age. And I'm going to use a watercolour, so it's not sort of too in your face. I'm just going to go around where it's obviously been handled the most, and that's where your eye and your hands are going to first of all get drawn to. I'm just really happy that Jane can have it back. You know, it's a real way of her reconnecting with her family. It's just a real lovely feeling, and I can't wait to hand it back and discuss curries.
For Jane, the book and the recipes it contains are an important link to her heritage and a reminder of the journey her grandmother made from Burma to Britain in the 1940s.
Jane, hi.
How are you?
It's lovely to see you. I'm Dom.
Hi, Dom. I met Chris. Hi, Chris.
How have you been?
Excited, nervous, a bit emotional, but just really looking forward to seeing my book again. It's the whole family history. It's travelled so many miles. It's that link between Scotland and India and Burma. It's a family's heart in that book as well.
Well, do you want to see it?
Oh, I'd love to see it, yeah.
No, Chris is itching to show you, so yeah. Go on then, Chris.
Oh, my goodness. You can actually read properly what it says on the front now. and you can open it. You couldn't open it without, you know, everything falling out of the spine, and it just feels such a substantial book. You can kind of feel all those hands that held it before and actually cooked from it. Absolutely lovely. Dainty dishes for an Indian table. Sorry, I thought I'd not be too emotional. I thought I'd hold it together, but...
Oh, bless you.
Thank you so much. It's just wonderful. Thank you.
Where's it taking you back to?
Just, you know, my family. It's just beautiful. Thank you. Well, I can't wait to share it now with my kids. They all love cooking curries as well, and it really is something I can treasure now and hand down. Maybe it will have to go to a granddaughter, like, you know, my nana gave it to me.
Carry on the tradition.
Yeah.
There were ticks. I was very interested. There was ticks.
Yeah, so obviously ones that were maybe regularly cooked.
Successes.
Yes, yeah, successes perhaps, yeah. Maybe I'll be able to put another tick by the egg curry, I don't know. Might be a cross.
See how it goes first.
See how it goes, but...
That's the joy of these things, isn't it? It's just sharing those memories of your amazing sort of family heritage.
Thank you so much.
You're so welcome, Jane.
It's been an honour.
Oh,
and
thank you.
Many happy hours cooking.
Yeah, thank you so much.
All the best.
Goodbye.
Bye then, Jane.
It's just wonderful. Just the love that's contained between all those pages, and the love of cooking curries, and takes me back to family tea times at my nana and pops, where the book sat on their kitchen worktop, which is just so heartwarming.